Let's do our intermediate fitness circle workout, standing with feet hip distance apart, rocking forwards and backwards slightly to find the tripod of your foot, so find your balance. Take the circle between the heel of the hands, reach your fingertips long. Lift the circle up just in front of your chest. Inhaling, reach the fingertips forward, and exhaling as you draw the shoulder blades toward each other. So inhaling, slight press into the circle as you reach forward, and exhale as you draw the shoulder blades toward the spine. So as you're doing this movement, watch that you're not coming into your upper traps. So you're just gliding the shoulder blades around the rib cage, reaching forward and back, coming into the last one. Inhaling and exhaling. And then set your collarbone in neutral. We're going to squeeze the circle in, just pull to your chest, inhale as you release, and exhaling. Avoiding tension through the neck, so really take the tension or the activation of your muscles through your shoulders and your arms. And the last one, before we add a flexion and extension, you're going to wrap your fingers around the circle and exhaling as you pull the circle apart, reach the chest through the circle, and inhale as you reach forward. Exhaling, pull apart, reach the chest forward. I'm drawing the shoulder blades toward each other. One more before we add flexion. So shoulder blades come toward each other. Now you're going to reach the circle forward, nod your chin, draw the rib cage back, and exhaling and inhale. So warming up through your upper back. And the last one. And then come back into neutral. Take hold of the circle, turn it round, place the base of the handles on the base of the rib cage, and then grab hold of the ring. You want to relax the shoulders here, so it's the movement coming from the rib cage. Feet are hip distance apart. I'm rotating to the right and inhale back to the center. With your rotation, keep both sides of the ribs equal on the circle. So exhaling and inhale. The movement's not coming from the shoulders, really activating through the rib cage, and you're going to rotate for one, hold, rotate further for two, and for three. Now, as you increase in the rotation, it can change back to your shoulders, so watch that the handles of the circle are firmly on the base of the rib cage. And the last set for one, release, two, going deeper, three, growing taller, back to your center, and lifting up through the crown of the head, keeping the weight centered, three, and return. Right, take hold of the circle again. Feet are just wider than hip distance apart. Take the arms forward, coming through your squat, squeeze the circle in, inhale as you release. Exhaling, elbows out to the side, pressing into your feet to return so that you can access into your glutes and hamstrings. Two more, and lengthen up. Take your right leg behind you, and I'm going to come into a lunge, so breathing out and reach. Two, I'm working that back glute as I extend the leg. Now I'm going to bring the back leg forward into a balance and come back. Forward, inhale and exhale. I think that's 4 and for 5. Now hold the lunge there, straighten the back leg. You're going to rotate toward the left, come back to your center. 2, 3, 4, and for 5, bring the back leg forward. Now send your left leg away, reach the arms out, and breathing out for 1, lengthen. Glutes working, so straighten the legs. 3, 4, and for 5, pull in and inhale. 2, 4, and for 5, hold it there, straighten the back leg, come into your spine twist. 2, Feel the spiraling out through the crown of the head. 5, and release yourself forward, relaxing through the shoulders. You're going to take hold of the circle so that the handle's pointing downwards. Step back with your right leg. You're leaning the body forward, but not so much that you press too much weight into the circle. We're going to challenge the balance and work the glute and hamstring on the right leg as you lift and lower, lengthening out through the back of the neck for 2, 3, coming into 5, 4, and for 5. Bring that leg in, coming upright, stepping back with the left leg, lean the body forward, lengthen out through the neck, activating the core for 1, 2, 3. I'm drawing up with the glute and hamstring and come back in again, bringing yourself up. Right, come lying on the mat. We're going to start with some hip rolls. Place your feet inside the circle, and it's going to be on either side of your knees. Your knees are pressing, so feet will be in line with your knees. Arms are alongside you. Take a breath in, and then breathing out, just press the circle apart and release, and try and equalize that press. So the side that's slightly weaker or not working the same as the other side, focus on that side to equalize and release. Now, very slight activation into the circle. Take a breath in, and then tucking under, rolling up vertebra at a time, still pressing into the circle, wrapping the glutes, holding, and roll back down again. Find your neutral. Breath in, breathing out, activating into the circle, tucking under, equal weight into both your feet, inhaling, reaching the arms overhead, and exhaling as you roll back down. And then bring the arms alongside you. And again, back of the pelvis comes to the back of the thighs, reaching the arms overhead, melting down. So coming to every vertebra as you're replacing it back on the mat through neutral. Bring the arms alongside you. The next bridge, we're not taking the arms overhead, so rolling up, holding, wrapping the glutes, press into your left leg, and then squeeze into the circle as you release your right leg and control back down. Switching sides, I'm coming through my toes, the ball of the foot, and then the heel, trying to avoid the hips from dropping. So I'm keeping the circle still in space and the hips as you press into one leg, releasing the opposite. The last one on either side. Relaxing through the head, neck and shoulders. And roll back down, vertebra at a time. Find your neutral. So here we're coming into double leg lifts. I spoke about in the intermediate class about whether you should be an imprint or not. So you can choose imprint or neutral. To be safe, always come to the imprint if you're unsure. So into our toe taps, pressing equally into both sides, keeping both legs active. Now taking the hands behind the head, toe tap, and then curl up as you draw the legs up and release back down, sliding the ribs toward the pelvis, curling up. Really feel the center point drawing the legs and the upper body. You'll feel really good muscular activation if you do that. So it's not my legs pulling up. I want you to think of the abdominals drawing in toward the center. And the last one. Now, hold it there. You're going to release your arms. You can take your head down if you like, and then place the circle between the ankles. So we're going to work the inner thighs now as we come into the hundreds. Before we get going to the 100, I want you to squeeze the circle equally on both sides and release, squeezing and releasing. Squeeze slightly, send the legs away, bend them in as you release. So exhaling, squeeze and reach, coming back in. Here you're determining whether you need your imprint, so you should not be flaring through the ribs, arching through the lower back. And we're going to move into our 100. So reaching the legs away, curling the upper body, take a breath in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 10. Keeping your body still as you pulse through the arms for 20. You can squeeze the circle on the exhale for 5 and release for 5 for 30. So you can choose for 5, release for 5, 40, collarbone wide, 50. Keep reaching the rib cage down toward the pelvis, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Hold it there, bend the knees in, and then release your head and chest down, and then take your feet down to the mat. Take hold of the circle. You're going to come lying on the front. Starting with the breaststroke, so the handles are on either side, legs are slightly apart, and let's start with the arms reaching out long, the heel of the hand still on the circle. Taking a breath in, start lifting up the head and the chest, squeeze the circle, exhaling, drag it in toward you as you lift up your head and your chest. Inhale as you hold, and exhale as you lengthen the arms forward. Inhale, squeeze the circle, float the head and the chest, exhaling, drag it in as you continue with your extension. Inhale as you hold, and exhale as you lengthen back down. I want you to take note of the shoulder blades. So are the shoulder blades drawing toward the spine equally as you press into the circle and lift up and reach forward? Now you're going to float the arms. So pubic bone is heavy, floating the arms up. Then I'm going to squeeze the circle, draw it in, inhale as I hold, and exhale as you reach forward. Keep the arms lifted, so squeeze in the circle, exhaling, pull in. Inhale as you hold, and exhale as you reach. Inhale, keep that length, exhale, squeeze and pull in. Shoulder blades toward each other, inhale, hold, and exhale as you reach forward and lower the body down to the mat. Now we're going to work through the glutes, so take hold of the circle and place it between the ankles. Make sure that they're in exactly the same place, because when you squeeze the circle, it goes imbalanced if it's not resting in the same place. Flip back onto your side, place onto your front, place your forehead on your hands. Now I'm flexing my feet. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just squeeze the circle and allow the knees to hover, and inhale as you release. Equal press on both sides. So you'll find the circle start swiveling around if you're not pressing equally. You'll feel the instability, lifting up and releasing. Now we're going to do 3, adding the upper body. So I squeeze, hover the upper body, and inhale, release back down. Exhaling, squeeze and lift, and lower. And in the last variation, if you're okay in your lower back, you're going to squeeze and hover, hold, extend the legs, and flex and pull back in. So if you need to revert to any of the previous exercises, do so. We're doing 3 more. Press. Pubic bone is heavy. I'm activating the core up and away from the mat. And the last one. Lower the knees down, straighten the legs, drop the circle as you push yourself back into a shell stretch. Inhaling and exhaling, hips are heavy, breath in and out and roll up. Into the half roll back, come to the front of the mat. We will go straight into the rolling like a ball as well, so make sure that you are forward of the mat. Feet are hip distance apart, arms are reaching out in the front of your chest, fingertips are long. Exhaling, roll back. Now keep the connection of the hips to ribs, float the arms up and lower back down, roll yourself forward and come upright again. So exhaling, pelvis tucks under, roll back, breathing in. Watch the rib cage, eye line is straight ahead, rolling forward with that C curve before you articulate back up. Now you're going to hold the half roll back, inhale as you lift and exhale as you release back down. For 2, so with each motion that you're doing with the arms, I want you to keep your attention on your rib cage. And the last one, keeping the C curve as you dive forward, lengthen up, and breathing out as you roll back. Now left leg as you lift the arms up and control back down. Right leg. I'm lifting up through my pelvic floor. Feel as if your pubic bone is pulling up toward your navel. And the last set. Squeezing the circle as you lift. Rounding forward and restacking. Exhaling as you roll back. Now lift the left leg up, lift the arms up, and then take the second leg up. Take the left leg down, right leg down, and lower the arms. Lift the right leg up and the arms. Keep drawing the pelvis back, second leg. Right leg comes down, left leg comes down, and the arms. Now keep the arms facing forward, or the circle reaching forward. Right leg comes up, and the left leg comes up. Right leg comes down, and the left leg comes down. Left leg comes up. I've got slight pressure into the circle. That's just to stabilize through the shoulders, not to create tension. So the circle creates that stability. And the last one, you're going to hold. Now into your single leg stretch if you can, exhaling as you reach, inhaling as you drag in. So I want to feel my abdominals drawing that leg back in again, breathing out and inhale. I can feel my hips drawing up and my ribs drawing down, last set. And the last one. From here, you're maintaining that position into rolling like a ball. So close your circle a bit, or the shape of your body. Inhale as you roll back and exhale as you come forward. Only going to the base of the shoulders or the middle of the shoulder blades, not going onto the neck. Breathing in. Now you can maintain the essential rolling like a ball. I'm going to come into open leg rocker. Come forward. If you come into open leg rocker, we're going to place the circle between the ankles. Take the hands underneath the knees, bent leg first, inhale and exhale. Then as you go back, you can straighten the legs and come back in. And then those of you who want to keep your legs straight, inhaling and exhaling. Lifting up through your chest with the open leg rocker, tucking under for 2, controlling the movement, making sure the lever of your legs don't throw you back. Hold it there, bend the knees in and bring yourself upright. Drop the circle, stretch the legs out, inhaling, lengthen, spine stretch forward, releasing through the back, going up and over, not sinking into the pelvis. So I'm stacking on top of the pelvis, lengthening upwards. Nodding the chin, reaching forward, breath in, and relax head, neck and shoulders, rolling back up again. Coming on our back, we're going to keep the circle upright. So take your left leg, place it on the circle. In fact, I'll come this way around. And the right leg stays bent on the mat. So the first part is a bridging, and then we're moving into abdominals. Now this leg should be straight. Activate the back of the leg. So pull down into the circle with the back of the leg. Taking a breath in. Exhaling, press into the right leg as you lift up. Inhale as you lower back down. 4 more. 2, my right knee's pointing directly ahead. 3, 4. Keep your pelvis square. And for 5. Now you're going to lift your hips up, lower, and then curl the upper body as you draw the knee in. So lifting up, release, and reach up. If you need to support your head, place your hands behind your head. 3, 4, holding the last one for 5. Circle the arms, hands go behind the head, single leg stretch for 1, pull back in. 2, I'm still pressing down with the left leg, but not from my knee, from the back of the leg. 5, hold, lift the leg up and lower back down. 2, maintain your imprint if you're in imprint. 3, stability through the circle. Hold that leg up, bend the knee in, release the upper body down and your foot onto the mat. Right, roll up, let's switch side. So just moving the circle over toward the right side. Right leg goes on. Find your legs straight, so make sure that you are in a straight line with your ankle, knee and your hip. Left leg is on the mat, square the pelvis, pressing up for 1 and release. Pulling down with the glute and hamstring on the right leg into the circle. But because the circle is lower, I'm keeping my hips square and they don't go up as high as they normally would, otherwise it would throw the hips out. And for 5 and release. Now adding to that, lift up, lower, draw the knee up and flex, pressing up, using the abdominals to pull the knee into the chest and the chest up, sliding the ribs down toward the pelvis and holding the next one. Curl up and hold, circle the arms, single leg stretch, exhaling to reach, inhaling as you bend. Pressure into the circle for 2, drawing the rib cage down toward the pelvis, pulling up on that kneecap. 5, hold, inhale as you lift and lower. 2, watch the pelvis, so keep it square and steady. And the last one, lift and hold, bend the knee in and release back down to the mat. Right, we're going to roll up to sitting, grab hold of the circle, place it in between the ankles. So we're going to come side lying and then into our teaser or our twist teaser. So bring yourself right to the front of the mat. So when you twist, you have mat behind you. Lengthen out through the bottom arm and keep your body in the long line. So watch your head's not forward, bring it back in line. Now, still reaching that top leg away, want you to squeeze the circle and lift the legs up and control back down. So I've got pressure on both sides of the circle as I lift the legs up and down. Hand can be in front of you or on your thigh. Softening through the rib cage. Releasing your head. We're doing 4 more. And 2, 3, I'm reaching my legs away before I lift them up. And the last one. Now into our lateral flexion. So I'm going to lift up my legs and my body and release back down. For 2, our line is straight ahead. And for 3. Now you're going to twist and bend the knees in. So first come into your lateral flexion, then bend the knees in, pull the knees in toward the chest and lower yourself back down, control yourself down toward the mat. And again, so you do need a slippery surface to be able to drag that back hand. Now you can maintain bent legs or we're going to straighten the legs once we come up. So from here, I'm going to bend and then release that arm, extend the legs, bend them in again, and release back down. And then I'm going to keep my legs straight throughout. So coming into my lateral flexion, keep the legs straight, release that arm. We can take them overhead in our teaser position, release back down again, and roll back into side lying. And the last one, lateral flexion. So I'm pulling in my deep abdominals as I draw my legs up, my body up, and then release back down into side lying. Okay, let's come on to the other side. So get the circle between the ankles, make sure that it's in the same place. Get your body to the front of the mat. We're going to do 10 double leg lifts. Align your body, hands in front of you or on your thigh. Activate your core. Exhaling as you lift and release. I'm keeping the length of the waist as I lift and lower the legs. Inner thighs are active. Both knees are pointing forwards. So I'm not rolled in or rolled out. And 4 more, squeeze in the circle slightly as I lift up and release, coming back down. And the last one. Now into your lateral flexion. So we're doing 3, lifting legs and the upper body and release back down. Pressing into that bottom hand. If you need to take your hand in front of you, do so. And when we come into our twist, the first 2 bent legs, so find your lateral flexion. Now I'm going to use my lower abdominals as I pull the knees in and then release back down again. So once more, lifting up, pulling in, dragging the knees into the chest, sliding back, and then I'm going to straighten my legs after I've come up. So lateral flexion, draw in, then straighten the legs, release that arm, bend the knees in, and roll back down. Straight legs all the way. Release the arm, taking the arms overhead, open up through the chest. So it's fine to do either of those or either 3 of those levels, reaching up, finding your teaser, and lower back down onto the mat. Okay, drawing yourself up, let's come onto all fours and then place the circle between the ankles. You're going to move your hands forward so that you can push yourself up into a plank. It's probably the easiest way to get there. Stabilize through your shoulders. Try and set yourself up into your plank. Get the circle in the right place on both sides. And let's start just with a pike, sending the hips up, then drawing the shoulders down the back. Get the pressure into the circles. So that's on either side of the circles. That's going to get your inner thighs working and create the access all the way into the pelvic floor. Now you're going to lift the right arm up, inhale as you rotate, and exhale as you place back down. Coming up into your left side. We're going to try and lift the right leg up, rotate the pelvis, place the right leg down, and left side. Right arm again on the inhale, and release back down. Activate through the glute and the inner thighs, and let's try the legs once more. So breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale, and then carefully place the knees back down on the mat and release yourself into a shell. Moving on to our back again, to an abdominal series. You're taking your left leg up into tabletop. Take the circle, place the handle against the knee or just below it. Left heel of the hand comes into the circle and your right hand comes behind the head. Imprint or neutral, I'm going to squeeze into the circle and release. As you squeeze in, resisting the knee or pushing the knee into the circle and the hand, you'll feel your abdominals activate. Now you're going to curl up and lift the right leg into tabletop. So squeeze, curl up and release. For 2, 3, collarbone stays wide. And for 5, hold, keep pressing into the circle, single leg stretch. 2, 3, still drawing my ribs down. 5, hold, lift and lower the leg for 1, 2, 4, and for 5, lift the leg up, bend the knee in, and release that leg back down again. Now I'm going to take my right hand, cross it over, take the left hand behind the head, pressing into the right hand. I'm going to curl up and rotate toward the left, and then you're going to lift up your right leg, and I'm going to send it away as I'm working into the obliques. 2, 3, 4, and for 5. Return everything back in and release the right leg down, and then the left leg. Switching over, right heel of the hand against the circle, and we're going to start just by squeezing both ends into the circle. Feel the abs activate, and for 2, and for 3. Now take the left hand behind the head and draw the left leg up into tabletop and release. And for 2, pressing into the circle. 4, and hold, keep pressing, single leg stretch for 1, 2, keep drawing the rib cage up. 3, 4, 5, hold, lift and lower. 2, and the last one. Bend everything and release down. Take your left hand, place it across, right hand goes behind the head, and you press into the circle, curling the upper body and rotate toward the right side. I'm going to lift the left leg up, and again single leg stretch as I work through the obliques. 2, 3, 4, and for 5, and come back to your center. Release all back down. Now let's come lying on the front. So coming into our swan dive, separate the legs wider than the shoulders, roll them into the center. You're going to lift the circle up so it's balancing on the handle. Take the one hand on, the heel of the hands are next to each other, and my head starts in a hover, so lengthen out through the crown of the head. I'm going to press down into the circle, lifting up through the head and the chest. Inhale as you hold, exhale as you lengthen back down, you're releasing the pressure off into the circle. So place your hands on the mat, do a normal swan dive. If you feel that the shoulder mobility is restricting you, and release. Reaching out through the tip of the ears as you lengthen up. Glutes are activating. And the last one. Lower the circle down, push yourself into your shell stretch. And roll up. Coming into side kneeling, grab hold of the circle. As you come over into the side, make sure that you don't take all your weight over into the circle. It's about controlling, keeping your balance using the underside of your obliques. So you're going to take your right leg out to the side and lean over slightly with the circle. Place the heel of the hand on. So as I say, you're maintaining your stability and core control. And then I'm going to take the hand on the hip there, lift and lower the top leg. So my right leg lifts and lowers. 3, inhale and exhale. And for 7, you're going to lift and hold. You flex the foot, take it forward and point. Take the leg back. Inhale and exhaling. 3, and the last one. Come back to your center, lower that leg down, bend the knee in. Let's come around to the other side. Lean over as you take the circle away from you. Heel of the hand is on. Left leg goes away, hand is on the hip. Find your stability first. Inhale, lift, exhale as you lower. 2, 4, your pelvis square. 7. Now lift that top leg up, flex the foot on the inhale, and exhale as you point and reach. 2. 3, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Keep the stability through the underside of the right side. Last one. Take the leg out to the side and bring yourself up into a kneeling position. Coming to oblique roll back. So I'm going to do these with the feet raised. If you need to keep your feet down on the mat, do so. Take the arms out in front of you, roll yourself back, take the legs up. You're going to rotate the circle, grab hold of it with your right hand, place it on the mat, press down into it, take your left hand over, inhale as you open. Exhale, press into the circle as you rotate. 3, 4, and for 5. Open back out, take hold of the circle, switch over, onto the opposite side, right arm opens, press into the circle as you rotate, and inhale as you open. And exhale, go up and over, 2, right side of the rib cage is pulling round, and for 5. And then grab hold of the circle, place the feet down, and reach your arms forward as you release through the spine. Lengthening out through the head, and roll up. Take hold of the circle in front of you. You're going to place the right leg inside on top of the handle at the bottom, and then take your hands behind you and your left leg is on top. So this is the leg pull back, which is an advanced exercise. You can take the hands out to the side or keep them pointing in, whatever's good for your wrists and your shoulders. Pressing down in the left leg as I lift the hips back up again. Inhale as you control back down. And for 2. So as I'm coming up, the circle is pressing downwards from the left leg. 4, open up through the collarbones. And push up and out of the shoulders, and let's switch over. So left leg goes in and right leg comes to the top. Set your shoulders first, lifting up for 1 and releasing. And 4. And for 5. Take your leg away, bring the circle in. You're going to place it in between the thighs. In fact, we're going to come into bridging. You can choose either way, so if that's uncomfortable, you're going to place your legs through the circle. So here I'm working my inner thighs, circle on the outside would be working your outer legs. So just press in, first establish that equal push from both sides, exhaling as you press, inhaling as you release. Now I'm going to press and then lift the hips up and release back down as I release the circle. Exhaling and release. Now you're going to lift and hold. So depending on where the circle is, either way you're squeezing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Smooth squeezes. 9, 10. Hold the squeeze, lower the hips down, squeeze deeper and lift. Inhale, so let's release slightly and then squeeze as you come up. And checking whether you've still kept equal press on both sides. So here we want to work on balancing out the muscle activation. And the last one. Lower the hips down, grab hold of the circle. We're coming into the roll up, straightening the legs. Reach the arms overhead. Let's start with the half roll up. So if you need to stay with the half roll up, do so. Lift up the arms, nod the chin, curling up. Hold that position, look straight ahead of you. float the arms up, and then take the upper body with the arms all the way down. Inhaling, float the circle up, nod the chin. Exhaling as you curl up, lifting the arms up, looking ahead, and then releasing back down. Maintaining that or full roll up. Flex your feet, nod your chin, curling up, vertebra at a time. Keep the length of your spine though, so it's a up and over feeling rather than a collapsed feeling. Inhaling as you roll back, placing every vertebra down, lower the arms. You're going to add a spine twist. Make sure that your movement is smooth. And then from here, you're going to restack your spine, arms overhead. Squeeze the circle as you rotate. Inhale as you reach. And squeeze and rotate to the other side. Reach back up, flex the body forward, roll back. Lengthen overhead. Inhaling, lift the arms, nod the chin. Rolling up. Unwinding the spine. Rotate as you squeeze. Inhale as you lengthen. Flexing the body forward again. I'm on top of the pelvis as I roll back. Find the neutral when the mid back comes in contact with the mat. And the last one. Reaching the arms to the ceiling. Bend and twist. Lengthen upwards. Bend, twist, lengthen upwards. Rounding forward. And rolling back down onto the mat. Right, it's coming to our stretches. So bend both your legs in to begin with. Find your neutral. Forefoot is on the circle. Open the collarbone and stretch it out. Heels reaching up toward the ceiling. Inhale as you bend. 2. And let's hold the last one. You can straighten the left leg if you feel. You can maintain your neutral, and then keep holding with the left arm. Take the right arm out to the side, palms facing upwards, and bring the leg across the body. Come back up again, going slightly deeper if your body allows that. Breathe into the place where you feel really tight. So what you don't want to do is go into a stretch that's too extreme and then try and spasm or brace yourself. So it's important to only take your body to the place where it's just allowing a stretch, not where you have to grit your teeth. And then bring the leg up. Now you're going to bend the left leg in again. I'm going to switch hands, and I'm going to use my left leg to open as I open the right leg out to the side. So the left leg's for a counterbalance as I come into an inner thigh stretch. Deep breath in and out. And then bring that back up to the center. Let's switch over. Find your neutral. Reach the heel up into the ceiling and inhale as you bend. For 2, relax into your chest. 3, hold, straightening the right leg if okay. I'm still pulling on my forefoot and allowing the stretch through my calf by releasing my heel up toward the ceiling. Switch hands, right hand crosses over, left arm out to the side. Release the leg to where you feel a comfortable stretch. Coming back up again. Softening the rib cage, so allow tension to release from the head, neck and shoulders. Coming back up for the last one. Breathing into the tight area, and you go into the place where you can actually still breathe. Bring the leg back up again, bend the right leg. Let's switch over with the arms. Take the right arm out to the side. Allow the right knee to open, counterbalance. Coming into the inner thigh stretch. Relaxing through the shoulders. Deep breath in and out. And return back up. Right, bend the knees in, take the circle out to the side and just hug the knees into the chest, circle them out to the side, stirring through the hip joints. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in and out. Bringing the legs together and release the feet down onto the mat, onto your side, and then return seated. And that's all for the intermediate workout.